You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Welcome back, Rebels, and it's frickin' Wednesday. Are you ready? Oh man, we're gonna get down and dirty. We're getting the trenches on this shit. We're gonna get crazy. NCAA basketball to get into. Michigan fans, you know, let's hear from you. The Big Ten is a murderer's row, and March Madness is right around the corner, so plenty to get into there. Free agency, NFL, lots of NBA, NHL action. So let's just get into this thing. It is all about time. What are we doing? We're biting kneecaps, right? Is that what we're doing now? We're biting that's the thing? We bite kneecaps now, apparently. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for another edition of DSR2 on this glorious Wednesday here in the D. The sun was shining. It got up into the 50s. The snow was pretty much all melted down here. And it was wonderful.
It's like tropical now.
It was like tropical. People are bitching about, oh my God, it's too damn hot. You're firing up the grills. You're going outside after having a bourbon.
I'm seeing cats in t-shirts and shorts and shit. It's fucking 50. Welcome to the Midwest.
The snowblower's put away. It's not put away. It's just tucked in the garage, and it's still got gas in it because I'm not draining that puppy down till May 1st.
You're all a bunch of pussies. I haven't even started mine this year. Fuck you, pussies. You're all a bunch of sissies. You can't handle it. You can't handle it. I've got two snowblowers. They both work fine.
Yeah,
I have not started one yet this year.
I started mine.
You guys are all a bunch of pussies.
I had a heart attack, so I got to start my fucking up.
I'm just fucking with you, Moose.
So kiss my ass.
I don't blame anybody for not wanting to do shit like that. I just don't. For me to get the snowblower out and do all that stuff, we got to get hit pretty hard. And this year has been a pussy cat. I mean, for a winter,
most of it, yeah. It was
for us here,
it's
been a pussy cat.
Yeah, inch and a half, 2 inch and a half, 2 inches under. With the when we were so cold in the powder, yeah, break out the shovel because time I get the damn snowboard going, I'm already done.
Oh yeah,
So,
without a doubt.
But the 9 inches yonder, but I use that. When we got that couple inches of wet, sloppy stuff, fuck that. It was gonna melt within a day, anyways, and it did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I you know what? That's my whole thing. Like cats get like all excited about. I watch my neighbors. And, you know, we're going to get maybe 2 inches of snow, and it just started, and they're already out there freaking out. It's like, okay, first off, let that couple inches hit the ground, and then go out and hit it if you think you need to. But if it's sunny out, I'm willing to bet that ain't going to last. And it doesn't, you know.
Jesus Christ, he's huge.
That's Shaq. Shaq's a monster.
I mean, look at this guy.
I know.
He's like a foot taller. It's like, yeah, let's go.
That chick that's with him is a giant. She's big too. She
looks like a midget,
dude, and she's man size.
Yes.
She's like she's bigger than I am, and she's built like a brick shit house too. Shaq just walks in with his big old ass and he's just big. He's like, I'm just huge. If I wanted to play football or be a wrestler, you guys would all be fucked.
Because if I didn't want to lose, there's no way I'm not.
I'd be like Andre the Giant. Yeah, you're just.
Except he's a little better shape than Andre the Giant.
Yes. Look at his shoes. He's got his 1997 Shaquille O'Neal's from like when he was in Orlando or whatever. What? No, he's taking an arm wringer and he doesn't know how to sell it. And then he just pie faces him. No, I'm 5 times bigger than you are. I just pie face you.
I'm not.
And then I'll flex. It's funny because he doesn't know how to sell. So he doesn't know where to be in position. He doesn't know how to look like he's supposed to be hurting. So watching him wrestle's funny. But they had Snoop on here, and he's definitely going to be better than Snoop. Yes. I love Snoop, but first off, he's a pencil. Yes. And second off, his frog splash is terrible. But that's just a whole other story. How do you collar an elbow with a guy that giant? Look at his hand around his neck. Look at that. You can just pop your head off like a grape. Oh, he let you slap him in the chest? Nah, bing. Shaq. Such a clown.
So we got
anyway.
lots here to talk about. We got all sorts of craziness on there. We got NBA basketball, NCAA basketball. As we said,
Dude, who would have thunk the top of the West would be Utah and Phoenix? I mean, we got Shaq over here on the TV, but he ain't talking about that right now.
No.
But that is the story, I think, really, for me in the NBA. And then the All-Star debacle. The All-Star debacle. I don't even know where to go with that. But should I just go off on a tangent right now?
Go off on a tangent because we've been saying it for around here. Nobody wants to play in the damn thing.
Dude, they can't get anybody to get into the dunk contest.
No, because right now...
Who's it? Can you look up who's in that right now and then who's in the three-point contest? They're going to do it all in the game, right? So the three-point contest is going to be before the game, and the dunk contest is going to be at fucking halftime.
Yes.
At halftime. That's your halftime show, the dunk contest, with like 6 dudes you never heard of. Because you're going to look up these names, Moose. You're going to find these in the Google machine somewhere, and they're going to be fucking cats nobody's ever motherfucking heard of. And Toronto finally got their Rona shit together enough to play Detroit, and they're gonna get destroyed because they got 15 guys nobody's heard of either because everybody's fucking gone. And now you want to take one guy from every fucking team and just put them all in one place so they can just and then send them all back, ship them all around. This is like Super Spreader 101.
Okay, here we go. Dunk contest is Anfernee Simons from the Portland Trail Blazers, Cassius Stanley from the Pacers, and Obi Toppin from the Knicks. That's it.
Who?
Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin?
Obi Toppin from the University of Dayton.
Obi Toppin? That's a real name?
Yes.
That isn't like a fucking Star Wars character?
No, that's a real live name.
That's like a Star Wars character. Like he should be flying an X-Wing fighter or something.
That's on there. So those are your dunk contest people.
Oh my god.
And
who the fuck are any of them? Does anybody know who any of them are?
Well, I do know Obi Toppin.
Just because of his name?
No, because he played for University of Dayton last year on there, and he was like a top 5 pick. Nice small forward, good size out there. Again, the classic guy stays 4 years, got better on there every year, so that's what happened.
Yo, Canada Mike's in the house. We're officially international. We're on the Facebook and YouTube, all that. Hit us up.
Your dunk contest, you got 3 guys, and then the 3 points: Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Steph Curry, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum.
You got a couple guys in there.
Yeah, great. Give Steph the ball and
game over.
Game over.
Sure, probably.
Him and Donovan Mitchell from there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You got a few guys, so it'll be interesting.
At least that one's worth.
But you couldn't get more than 3 guys. That's not even how do you have a slam dunk contest with 3 dudes?
Each guy gets 1 dunk, and the best score wins. Yay, win over
halftime. It's gonna be
10
fast as shit. You know what? To be honest, I'd rather watch that bitch juggle plates. Where she's got them on sticks and on her legs, and she's like on a unicycle. Yeah, I'd rather watch that, I think, again, than the 6.5 minute 3-man dunk contest with Obi Trice.
I'm not even watching it. Period.
Can Obi Trice even dunk?
All of them can dunk.
Obi Trice can't dunk. I seen him. He's like 5'6".
Well, again, Muggsy Bogues could dunk.
Yeah, but Obi Trice, he can't jump.
Spud Webb could dunk.
Oh, yeah.
Spud Webb was like 5'3".
Obi Trice can't jump. I've met him.
Spud Webb.
I did shows with him.
Midget.
I did a
Muggsy Bogues, you ugly midget.
You ugly midget.
Classic.
He's like the oldest looking guy in the history of humankind.
Bugsy?
Yeah, other than Odin, Greg Oden.
Greg Oden was,
him and Greg Oden
Greg
both,
Oden was 60 years old out of the womb.
Yeah, but him and Greg Oden were both born like 45.
Yeah, 12 years old on there. Hey, Greg, can you go buy for us?
Yeah.
But you're in college. I don't care. They won't sell to me, man. They'll sell to you. Come on, you passed for 50.
Yeah.
Dude, you're like 7 foot tall already. And you
Yes.
look like 50 years old.
Right. He's got fucking crow's feet and bags and a full beard.
I
You're
really
like
appreciate you
7.
fighting for us in World War II. There,
Yes,
Greg.
thank you. I realized it was hard being born during the Depression.
What's it like when when silent movies first came out?
Yes, yes. How was it forging the first wheel?
Were you there when they signed the Declaration of Independence?
I mean, this could go on all night.
That's Greg Oden.
Gosh, that's too funny.
Yeah, the All-Star game where nobody wants to play.
Mike says F the Raptors this year. Baseball's back. Yeah, Raptors are in bad shape. Dunk contest will be a joke. Be a good hour to take a nap. I don't even think you'll get an hour, Roy, out of the halftime. It's only going to be a few minutes, probably. It's going to be quick. Like you said, I think it'll be a 1 or 2 round kind of thing.
Yeah, your Raptors are down by like 12 points to the Pistons.
That's
right
not
now.
good. That's not good. And, of course, heard of Obi because he was a thought for the Pistons in the draft, but never heard of the other two. I was being a little bit facetious with that stuff. I mean, obviously, we've heard a couple of those guys, but they're not anybody of any ilk, I guess, is my point. And that's why I'm calling him Obi Trice. But anyway, and whatever. He can hate me later. It's okay. It's just part of the gimmick, guys. It's okay. No one will take it personally, I promise. It's going to be a shit show. And then no one plays defense anyway, and now no one wants to be there. So how many alternates got in this year? How many people just said fuck it and they're not playing? Like, did we get alternates this year? Because I know we got some, because who got snubbed? God damn it. My brain is applesauce. We had a couple snubs this year, but a guy got in. Who the hell was it, from Atlanta? Is that who it was? What's his name? Trey something or another? Trey Young? Is that who the guy is that I'm thinking of that got in?
Yeah.
That kind of was a snub? I think it was
Right.
Trey Young, right? My brain's applesauce, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to...
Yeah, Trey Young got in. Jeremy Grant didn't get in because he's only,
Right.
he plays for the Pistons, and that's why.
Right. Well, there's just a couple of teams that are just not going to be represented probably, but... so I get that, but I just, I knew there was... I just thought maybe there'd be some... I don't want to play this game. I just don't want to go through all that stuff. Hey, Danny, thanks for chiming in. Mike, Roy, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Text line's available to you, too, if you guys want it. Let me find it. I can't even find it anymore. Here it is. 313-307-5340. You guys can chime in that way. If you guys don't want to do the social media, you can hit the text up. But we love having you, even if it's just for a few minutes. We're talking a little NBA action and the debacle of an All-Star game. I don't know. But this is the mind-blowing thing of the whole thing for me, Moose. This is the third biggest moneymaker for the league. 3.
Yeah.
You got the conference finals and the NBA finals, and then this is number 3. As far as revenue, as far as ratings, as far as everything.
Right.
It even beats Christmas Day for viewership.
Right.
How is this possible? Am I missing something? Like, I must be... I'm totally out of touch, I have to admit, on this
I
one.
have not watched an NBA All-Star game, and you probably call me old fuddy-duddy there, but it's got to be at least 6-7 years.
I haven't watched it in quite a while. I think when the dunk contest was when the three-point contest got turned up with Steph and all them getting in it, and because the modern game is a much more of a three-point friendly game, so I think I caught one right around that time. Maybe I think I remember. Maybe it was a replay of the three-point contest, but I don't sit and watch the game typically. Watch the highlights or something, but
Right.
I'm trying to think of there's no bearing on anything
No,
for
because
anything.
they don't play any defense whatsoever.
Yeah, to me it doesn't mean anything, so I'm just surprised that there's that many people that get into it. But apparently, I'm out of touch on this one. So,
And the dunk contest, I mean,
well, this is a thing for me on the dunk contest. Like, how many dunks are there?
right.
Like, how many dunks can you do? Like, the last dunk contest I think I saw was Nate Robinson in his kryptonite shoes dunking over Dwight Howard in his Superman outfit after he dunked on a rim that was on a fucking high-low.
Right.
So, like...
Yeah, that was
probably the one.
The last one I remember.
Yeah, but like, where do you go from there? Like, what do you start bringing in trampolines and shit? Like, what the fuck do you do from there?
And of course, they're all close to, buzz, short hair, whatever. I'm like, dude, grow your afro like Dr. J, 1976.
Oh, well, we've had the conversation about the afro. It's the single greatest haircut of mankind.
Yes, but that afro with the wind resistance alone on that 1976 Dr. J afro was astronomical, and he dunked it from like the top of the key.
The afro was empowering. It's like Samson, dude.
It must have been filled with helium.
It's like Samson. You're like a zeppelin with that thing. It's a majestic flying creature. I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. The single greatest haircut style ever.
God, Dr. J with
the Moulet is number 2.
I don't know about that.
I'm sorry, I was just fucking
I'll
around.
take the high fade over
I'll take the kid and
mullet
play
fade.
fucking eraser fade over the Moulet. I was being silly. Yeah, I was being silly. I wanted to see that look on your face. I should have switched cameras, damn it.
A la 1991 kind of, where it looks like a top hat without no brim. It just kind of whoop.
That's amazing. You know how many kids like tried to rock that shit in my high school and just, it's amazing. I wish. I'm so jealous. The best I could do at my heyday. Shaq got put through a fucking table. God damn, I'm glad I recorded that because I want to see that later. Not that I have anything against Shaq, but the fact that he took a bump through a table, that's at his age. That's impressive. I gotta check that out.
But yeah, I remember
Anyway.
growing up, Dr. J with the on there, and Dr. J with his spin reverse two-handed.
Yes.
That was the man. It was like,
To me, there's only so much you can do with the creativity, and I think that's what ultimately kind of waters it down. And then if you don't have like a lineup of guys that really want to take it seriously and come up with something super creative, but they're all doing the same kind of stuff. Here, you toss it to me, I jump over you, you flip over that. Yeah, I mean, it's all the same between the legs.
put the damn thing on the high-low,
Yeah.
go have that damn rim go up to 15 feet, and then dunk and impress me.
Yeah, well, you put a rocket up your ass and
No,
launch to the rafters.
The only one that could actually do that would probably have been Wilt on there, because they said he could actually jump up, place a quarter on the top of the backboard.
Yeah.
And then actually get up and pick it up. Not great. He just kind of boop.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said,
And again, on there. So, yeah.
there's just not a lot of people that could do that kind of crazy stuff. So, like, I mean, seriously, like, how many people in the history of mankind can do those crazy float in the air for an hour and twist and dunk? I mean, the Jordans, the Dr. J's, there's only fucking so many of them.
The Vince Carter.
Yeah.
With Vinsanity, man.
Yeah.
When he came out that
Larry Johnson. Grandmama. So, I mean, but look we're talking about like every decade you get maybe one.
I want to see Zion Williamson.
Dude, he break shit?
Yes.
You want to see him break shit? Because that's what he's going to do. He's going to break stuff.
I want to see him grab the top of the backboard and just pull the whole damn thing down.
What do you
Not the rim, the backboard. Grab the top and pull it down.
I think he should just grab it down, pull it all the way down, and then, like,
drop the ball.
Like, I mean, I don't. What can he do though?
And then put Muggsy Bogues on it, and let it go boo.
He should take somebody and throw him from half court and see if they land. They can make the dunk.
Muggsy Bogues and put him in basketball.
Yeah, maybe he'll dunk another player. I mean, like, what else can you do? Like, that's what I'm saying. Zion is a great athlete. He's amazing. We watched him blow his shoes out in college. He's very dynamic. But let's be real about a dunk contest, Moose. What is he going to do other than break shit that's going to be impressive? Other than breaking it and bringing it crashing to the ground, what else? That's what happened to Shaq. What else could he possibly do? Yeah. I don't see him doing like a backflip and through the legs and a windmill, all that crazy dunk shit. That ain't gonna happen. Oh, Shaq's on his way back to the studio in TNT via the ambulance. And he had to bring his legs up to his knees up to his chin because he couldn't fit in the motherfucking thing.
But yeah,
anyway.
You look at it, unless you're basically running up there and start. You're not in that 3-point line, but you got to elevate it right at the logo there at half court.
Yeah,
you got to jump that far all the way across half court and then dunk it.
I mean,
you're gonna break the dunk and also you're gonna break the long jump con on there at the same time.
You have to break the laws of physics anymore to be impressive. So,
but you want to hear something? Somebody posts on there, and I had to look it up on there, and it's coming up on the whatever on there. Will Chamberlain is the only player to have the quintuple double.
Did they even keep track of that shit back then, or are they just making this up? Because I don't even think they kept track of 5 different stats back when he played. So I'm not hearing it, okay?
1968. Assist, rebounds, points, blocks, and steals.
When did they start keeping track of blocks and steals?
I think like in the mid 60s. So, but he did lead. He actually is a 7'2" monster. He led the league in assists in 1968.
Sure. Oh yeah. But you're talking about a bunch of like 5'6" white guys that like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, they're not all 5'6".
Dude, they were all in black and white.
They were color TV.
No, they weren't. It was like WandaVision. I saw the tape.
It was like when they switched over to the on there, like from basically Bewitched over to Brady Bunch. It went from black and white to color on. There was color on here in 1968, and they did have people over 6 foot tall in the NBA then.
Dr. J was the only one in color.
Bill Russell was.
Everybody else was a bunch of white guys in black and white, and they just dribbled the ball and passed. 2-hand pass, chest pass. That's it. They didn't even bounce pass. They just did the 2-hand set shot and the 2-hand bounce pass. Or, yes. I mean, chest pass. And they were in black and white. And Dr. J came out. And every time Dr. J stepped on the floor, Curtis Mayfield played.
Superfly.
Exactly. If we're just going to rewrite history anyway to whatever, cool. We should make it cool.
Right.
Like,
because if you got anything on there, you got Curtis Mayfield playing, you're all right.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like having Samuel L. Jackson in your movie. It's always cool.
Curtis Mayfield, Isaac Hayes, Little P-Funk, can't go wrong, baby.
Exactly.
Can't go wrong.
George Clinton is the man, by the way. That guy is awesome. And not just as a musician and all that stuff.
Just
as a guy.
As a person.
Yes. I had an opportunity to meet him. He's very cool.
Bootsy Collins on the bass, baby.
Bootsy is the diggity.
Bootsy is the man.
And Bootsy's the diggity. Bootsy's why I learned to play bass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he can even play bass on LSD.
Yes. My hero.
I love Bootsy.
He's the Jimi Hendrix of fucking the bass. Oh, goodness gracious.
He made playing bass cool.
He did. Yeah. So
anyway. We got everything going. But yeah, as we said, is you're head of the Western Conference, Utah and Phoenix.
How does that happen? I know Phoenix is just like by percentage, and it just happened last night with the win and all that stuff. But I don't think anybody saw the Chris Paul Phoenix Suns being
I didn't expect them to make this kind of being first, second in the West on there.
Right.
Being,
I mean, it's a tough West. I mean, with both LA teams and you got tough teams like Portland, Dallas, Denver, and Portland,
Golden State,
yeah, Dallas,
the Spurs. Remember when we said at the beginning of the Spurs are going to be a rebuilding mode, and the next thing you know, they're
they've been winning. Yeah, they've been winning. I looked at it, I'm like, because I heard it, and I'm like, the last few times I heard they've been winning, and then I looked at it, I'm like, oh wow, they won like 6 in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. I see you there.
Okay.
Yeah, I see you. Okay. But and quite the opposite for like us in Toronto, the two teams playing now.
Hey, we're being
trending in the wrong direction.
We still have the Timberwolves have the worst record in the NBA, but then again, they're the Timberwolves.
Yes.
How many number one picks overall are you going to let them have, and they're going to still fuck it
They
up?
could get everyone from now till ever, and they'll still be.
fuck it up.
Yeah, they'll still be the Timberwolves. I mean, I'm sorry.
They'll pick like guys like Greg Oden.
I feel bad for people that truly love the NBA in Minnesota. They've got to have another team. It's kind of like us with the Lions.
Yes.
I feel maybe
Well,
not.
actually, no, it seemed worse for us as Lions fans because
Yeah, because it's been
there
way
was a little
longer.
period of
They, at
time
least
when
they had
Greg
Garnett. Yeah, they had
Kevin
Garnett.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but we had Barry Sanders and we've had Calvin
yeah,
Johnson
but they
and
actually got to the playoffs in one playoff game.
yeah, no, that's true. No, they've won series. Yeah, and for sure. Yeah.
And you got the Pistons and Orlando, and Toronto's actually the 6th seed right now.
They're just not trending well.
No,
They're going in the wrong direction, and they've had.
their last 10 are 6-4, so they actually trended up a little bit.
But they got
still.
they've got COVID issues right now too.
Yes.
So that's gonna be that's why they're getting beat right now. But they're just not getting the production that they were hoping from some of these other guys. You know, Phoenix seems to be the only one that has picked up where they left off as far as the bubble's concerned, right? We talked about it last year when they got into the
Yes.
bubble. Some teams would thrive in the bubble or get crushed in the bubble, and we saw that. We saw teams get crushed, and we saw teams by the bubble, and we saw teams thrive in the bubble, i.e. Portland and Miami and stuff like that. And then those teams we thought would be on the come up. I think really out of all of them that did well in the bubble this year on the come up, it's been Phoenix.
Phoenix has been the best team to come out because remember how hot they were. The team you're like, man, they make the playoffs, man. You do not want to play them.
Well, yeah, and now they're in the 2 seed. So you're in when you get to, if you're in the 2 seed going into the All-Star break. I mean, barring any kind of collapse, you're gonna be in this mix.
So they're the 2 seed. So they'll end up right now if the playoffs started today, they would play Denver.
Right. So, but I mean,
down there, Utah would have to play Golden State.
right.
I mean, Golden State's on his stuff, but do you want to guard Steph Curry come playoff time?
No, it's gonna be.
And that's the inbound.
We were talking about it. It's weird because last year we were talking about how the East looked pretty good and looked like they were getting some things going, but it's like, you know, Milwaukee still seems to have its flaws. Philly's doing better, but Boston fell off. But you look over in the West, man, and it's just killers.
Yeah, Philly's doing better, but
Killers.
then also you look under, and it's Brooklyn at the number 2 seed.
Yeah. Well, that experiment, I don't think anybody thought that would work that fast, if at all. I mean, a lot of us, I thought, man, they don't have
I
enough.
didn't think they did.
They didn't have enough balls to get around like with these guys. And then what are you going to do when Kyrie starts acting like a clown and Harden wants to be the man? And I mean, I guess
Harden
Durant
can be the man. He's basically shooting and dishing the ball like nothing to it.
Dude, he carried that team when both them guys sat out and he was killing it. So it's like, and they're playing well together. There's not an issue there. Like, and they came together a lot quicker than I thought they would. So yeah, I mean, you know, you can't deny the talent. So we figured that at some point they would be good, especially in a kind of a not so great East. But yeah, that's that to come together that quick. That's been pretty impressive. So
The way Harden's playing right now on there, he might be your favorite for the MVP.
sure, why not? I mean, other than the usual suspects, who else is there, right? I mean, LeBron's always in the conversation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Devin Booker, I mean, but he's basically freed up because now you've got, dishing the ball to him.
Right.
Now,
Sure.
you know, Chris Paul, I mean, yeah, I mean, right now you would have to say is the way it's going on there because Harden is, again, right now 14th in the league in scoring with 25.2,
Yeah.
first in the league in assists with 11 assists per game. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he changed his game, and we got to give him credit for that.
And again, and he's still a liability defensive-wise, but offensive-wise, this dude is just playing out of his mind.
Yep. Because, and then when you need him to score, he will.
Yes.
So that's a weapon that if he's willing to, sacrifice a little scoring to get those assist numbers up and do all that, then but when you need him to score, he can, and
because again,
he's used to carrying a team without other superstars. So if you need him to do that, he'll do that.
With him dishing the ball the way he is and shooting it on the way he is he's accounting for probably almost 40% of their scoring. About a third, maybe 35%. I mean, again, he's accounting for almost 37 points a game, almost 38 points a game between scoring and assist.
Yeah,
that's nothing. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Oh, no doubt.
And they said rookie of the years right now looks like it's going to be Melo.
That's surprising, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched many of his games, so to be honest. So they're in a
playoff hunt down there.
Sure.
So they're on there with the playoffs. There's just on there, but
she's just not on my radar.
Ball is averaging 15.7 points per game, 6.4 assists on there.
How many minutes is he playing right now?
What?
How many minutes is he playing right now?
He is playing just under 29 minutes per game.
That's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad.
He's third in their team scoring, leading the team in assists.
I haven't really thought about the rooks too much this year. I haven't paid too much attention to that.
He's getting 6 rebounds a game.
So I didn't even.
And almost,
of course, he's not on my radar.
Just over 1.5 steals per game as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple highlight shots with him in there, I guess, but I haven't seen much of that either, and he's not really on my radar. And you know what? As far as the rookies go this year, I haven't been really on it like that, so to speak.
It's not been a stellar crowd for rookies.
It really hasn't. I'm like trying to think of who stood out, so that's my problem with trying to, evaluate these rookies, is that no one's really stood out to me.
Sadiq Bey, baby.
Yeah.
He's had his moments on
yeah,
holy crap
I mean,
on there,
yep.
But
I mean, that's just because, But, I don't know. So, so crazy NBA kind of roundup. We'll see how the season goes. Like I said, post All-Star game here, but it definitely a different look than I thought we were going to get. But I guess this happens enough. We should know. I mean, we're starting to get more and more of that kind of up and down parody stuff, right? Because we're getting more of these guys out that, it's a 3-point shooting kind of game, and you got, I don't know, I just feel like these teams are getting better all the way around. So, like I said, with a couple of exceptions that we've been disappointed with a little bit this year, hopefully they'll turn around there more in the East. But West has really been a murderer's row. I mean, we haven't even talked about Dallas and what Luka's doing over there.
Right.
I mean, Luka's like the buzzer beating dude over there right now this year, and he's kind of doing. I mean, it's amazing the stuff that guy's doing over there.
Why the hell has ESPN got Brooklyn, Houston on when they could have been showing Utah and Philly?
Well, I don't know what their TV contract is, so some stuff's got to be allocated for NBA TV, some stuff's got to be allocated for other networks. So I don't know what their deal is.
This is terrible.
Well,
bump them.
Yeah, well, it's not about bumping them. It's about what your deal is, like what your contract is. Somebody else might have that deal, and
that's true.
they don't. You can't just bump. It's not like the NFL will flex things into different time zones, but the network is still going to carry the game, so they're just going to carry it at a different time. So that doesn't necessarily change. The network gets that game. So now sometimes they'll have to work something out, especially with like the COVID stuff. You could see where that could get changed up, but for the most part, they don't change that. If they got to flex something in because it was bad and they're trying to get better TV, it's the night games, the primetime games they do that shit for mainly. So, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't think the NBA is flexing any teams in and out of anywhere, and I don't know what the TV deals are. So, And that's the only reason why they got these contracts like they do right now, is because that last set of TV deals that they made brought them a shit ton of cash. Remember all those cats getting all those? Why are you giving these contracts to these guys? Like, that's insane amount of money for somebody that's like going to come off the bench or something. It's going to be like 6 or 7 on your team, on your squad. It's like, what the hell? But that was because of those huge deals, mainly from like ESPN. So I don't know what their deal. But like, to your point, if you've paid all that money, like, maybe you should get a little more say on which product you get. I don't know, but I don't know how that shit's structured. So anyway, we talked a little about Michigan, but and the NCAA and the pregame here, Moose. But before we get into all that, the Big Ten is not the murderer's row of college basketball right now. I mean, I just feel like the Big Ten is just...
They're killing each other.
But I know, but they're going to be battle tested.
Yes.
When the tournament comes, I feel like the Big Ten is going to rep because, I mean, it's all the juggernauts in one place.
Right.
So that's why they're getting losses.
Well, that's what this is.
But like when you look around the country and stuff like that, outside the Big Ten, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the Big Ten just right now.
The best conference.
It's not even close right now. It feels like the SEC in football, right?
Yes.
Where the SEC it's just a dominant conference. I mean, whether you like to hear that or not, I feel like that the Big Ten is that right now in college basketball, and so you've gotten some really good games, with the exception of the shit show last night.
Well, yeah.
That Baylor game though, before it, man, that was a game. I mean, overtime, last second shots, big money shots, 3-point shots, blocked shots, stolen turnovers.
Yeah, because they
drama.
Because they lost their last game before that. They ended up losing to Kansas.
Right.
And West Virginia is not no slouch. I mean, they're 6th in the country, so they're on there. So that's, I mean, you got the Big 12 in there. But I mean, the Big Ten is basically. But you know what? Nobody plays physical basketball like the Big Ten.
No.
They beat the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And again, look at last week how Michigan dominated Iowa. I mean, Luka Garza, who's been there, I don't know, like 60 years for Iowa, he got manhandled by Dickinson.
All right.
I mean, dude, Garza's bigger than anybody else, and he goes, what the fuck, man? This dude's bigger than I am. What the hell?
All right.
On there, and he couldn't do anything on it. And again, Michigan coming off 4 games in 9 days, 3 of them are top 10 opponents.
Yep.
Yeah, they've just and again they were off for 3 weeks too, so they kind of had a bit. Again, it was kind of all right, we're a little gassed here, and they fell behind. They're like, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, they win tomorrow night, then they win the Big Ten regular season, and they go to the tournament.
All right.
The Big Ten tournament. We'll see what happens. But again, Illinois is really good. Ohio State's pretty damn good. Iowa's pretty damn good.
Yep.
State's coming up a little bit, but State's got to win at least one of the 2 against Michigan to get in.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem with State. They're so far behind the 8 ball.
They looked terrible against Maryland on Sunday, and they looked pretty good last night. But dude, they didn't look great because it was Indiana.
All right.
But they got to split with me. The only thing they can hope to do is Michigan basically blows them out tomorrow night, and then they don't care on Sunday because it's over.
All right.
They're the number 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. They won the regular season. Okay, we're going to rest guys and get them a little bit of a breather until we get ready, and they don't play. But then again, Michigan doesn't play till Friday anyways in the Big Ten.
All right.
Tourney.
All right.
You got all week to rest up. But you know what? Plus, if you bury them, they may not make the tournament. Oh, yeah, trust me. They want to do that.
Yeah. Right.
So we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, I mean, this has been... Juwan Howard's a damn good coach.
Well,
I think it's too.
He's got a great staff.
He's got Howard Isley, and you got Phil Martelli.
Yeah.
The moment and then we said this last week, and I'm going to keep saying it, the moment I saw them hiring Phil Martelli, I'm like, damn, that's a nice hire.
Well,
that was a real... they freaking St. Joe's let Phil Martelli, you basically can him because the dude's like a god in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
in St.
Well,
Joe's.
right.
And he basically said, "Oh, we got to get rid of him." And honor. Now Martelli's like, "Listen, I'm just going to coach and help out. Got to get somebody here. He's at that age too. Like he doesn't need to coach again.
Right.
Vote the head coach. So
Sure.
I think it's basically he's the guy that runs the X's and O's.
Right. Well, it's one of those things that like smart people
Surround themselves with smarter.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They surround themselves with the right people. If you're smart, you know that you need to get somebody that knows this better than you do or does this better than you do. And and you got to set them up to be successful so they can reciprocate that in kind, which will be via their performance. So, and that's exactly what's happening. But like you said, like when they brought him in, of course we didn't want Beeline to go. But when they brought in Howard, it's like, okay. But when they announced his staff, I was like, then I became very optimistic because that showed me that he's self-aware, right? To hire that staff and bring in those, he's self-aware.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not delusional about what he thinks he can do.
He knows what I can.
You know what I'm saying?
Do, and
someone who wants to be the head coach and general manager of a football team is delusional on what they're capable of doing. And we see it all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's always a fucking dumpster fire.
We're seeing it right
Always.
now in Vegas.
Yes. Always.
Don't tell me Mike Mayock's the general manager. Sure he is.
Yes. So, but anyway, so I just, oh shit, look at, they got the old school belts. Look at that shit. What in the fuck are they doing? That's crazy. That's probably Tully's U.S. title. See, I got that belt there in the middle. Anyway, as we talk belts, you can go check out datebelts.com. So like, I don't know. I don't even know where the hell I was going with this. Where were we?
Staff he hired it.
His staff was just amazing, and that's what you do, though. And when you're self-aware, then you do well. I mean, and so I've always been optimistic since I saw that hiring, but and we don't see it here, right? Like in other places, right?
Well, here's
so
a coach that's not self-aware, and that's Creighton's coach Greg McDermott. Who last week, basically after a loss, says, "Guys, we got to stick together. We need both feet in. I need everybody to stay on the plantation. I can't have anybody leave the plantation."
What the fuck? The fuck? Alternate universe do I live in?
I think he meant reservation, and he said plantation, and also it's like they're like doing. Did he just say what I thought he said? Is he saying we're like slaves?
What the fuck is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? Who says this shit? How do you not know? How do you not know? Can we all get past the third grade? Please.
Yeah.
Before we enter adulthood. Can we all get past the third grade? What the fuck? I feel like sometimes it's just bad, right? Because like I like to think of myself as pretty self-aware. I'm sure I'm not as self-aware as I think I am, but I know I'm not a smart man. I'm not Forrest, but I'm not a smart man. But when I feel like I'm the smartest man in the room, I feel we're all in trouble. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those situations where I just can't be. I can't be the smart guy. This is not right. This is not right. And we all need to be and do better. Yes. Okay, we have to value education, knowledge, and truth. We need to value that. We don't. We value like Facebook, conspiracies,
aluminum foil hats.
Yes, Twitter, things that aren't like real. Those are the things. So it's just so bad when people speak. It's so bad. Just stop. You sound so bad. Stop. And you believe like what you say sounds smart. It's even worse. So at least I try to admit when I sound stupid. I try to be self-aware. I'm probably not as self-aware as I think I am, but Jesus Christ, people. Anyway.
Yes.
Fucking plantation. Really. Fucking plantation. Fuck out of here, dude.
Even if he said we all need
You know
to
what?
stay
He
on the
went
reservation.
he went off the reservation with the fucking plantation.
But even say we need to stay on the reservation, it's not positive connotations on there.
Well, yeah, no. I my whole thing is yeah, like why are you even going there? Even if you meant reservation, it's still
not.
It's still not good.
It's not as bad as saying plantation, but it's still not good.
No, it's still not good.
No.
But you're right. It is better. Definitely it's a
Everything-
mild step up from the basement that is plantation.
What the fuck? They got like a 12-year-old kid there?
That is Jungle Boy, and that is Luke Perry's kid.
Was he like 12?
No, he's like 20 something. Oh, this kid?
Yeah.
No, that kid is Marco Stunt, and he is like 7, and he's wearing his Rugrats outfit. He wrestled in a MLW, which is a smaller indie promotion, and he got famous for basically being fast and willing to be chucked into anything, over anything, through anything, by anything. Like they just ragdoll him everywhere. So yeah, no, that other one is Luke Perry's kid.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah, he's in his 20s, but I think Marco Stunt is in that area too. He's in his he's in his early 20s.
Now, if they toss
But
it, can they call it like door toss?
Well, it is very much like midget tossing because he's very, very small. But it's like, hey, he's the classic David versus Goliath, no matter who he fights. So,
But
but
tried to kick the guy in the back like and they didn't even phase him.
well, yeah, he missed because he's got little legs.
He's a wee little lad.
He's got little legs. He's got wee little
I was gonna
legs.
say, is it Tom Cruise in a wig?
Tom Cruise in a wig.
They're about to say right.
Yeah, right. Oh no, that's Tom Cruise in his
And
in his
for all you
platform shoes.
Scientologists that are mad at me about that crack, you know what? Kiss my ass. I really don't care.
Tom Cruise is a jerk. I only like the one time he went off on people over the Rona shit because he was gonna lose his ass if the movie got shut down.
Yeah.
But that was funny. All right.
So we got that going on there. Let's see, college football. Little thing coming out there about University of Texas and their fight song out there because one of the reasons Tom Herman got fired because he allowed the guys not to sing the fight song, and of course Steve Sarkisian says we're all going to sing it. We're all going to do it. We're going to bring in those great Longhorns from the past, Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams. On there, Vince Young. I'm thinking, yeah, but you read the lyrics on there.
Yeah.
Texas fight. It's goodbye to A&M. Texas fight. We'll put one win. Texas fight. It's always a hell under, but there's also two is the eyes of Texas upon you. All the live long day, the eyes of Texas upon you. You can't not get away. Texas fight, for it's Texas that we love best. Hail, hail, the gang's all here, and it's goodbye to all the rest.
Well, so like, what are we saying here? Like, I don't know what he
It's
said.
a bunch of redneck crackers basically saying, "Oh yeah, you try to run away slaves from the plantation."
But are you getting? But where? How did you get that? Like, where did that come? I don't understand. Because read it again, and don't like try to sing it. Just read the words like it was written as a book. Just read it and tell me where you got plantation slaves and don't run away and bomb.
Well, actually, the first two, the first lyrics.
Because I want to be fair to this before
Now, the first one's
I rip it.
In the chorus, no.
Okay.
But the second set of lyrics on there, the eyes are upon you all the live long day. The eyes of Texas are upon you. You cannot get away.
Okay, so
Texas
if you're
fight.
playing an opponent or you're in the heat of battle, you cannot get away. Okay. Is there anything? I just don't understand because you have to understand it's war times too.
Yeah.
So why is it automatically got to be about the slave and the plantation? Okay, go ahead, read more.
I know, but that's it.
That's it. Well, then I don't get it.
So,
I don't get it.
the players had an issue with the lyrics on there.
And that's fine if they have a issue with it, but I want to know what particular part of that screams slaves and all that. I don't see it. Just by the words, I don't get it. Am I missing something?
Yeah.
Like, it's probably, maybe that is the intention, but I feel that it's not outwardly, like, I don't feel like that, like, if they're doing it, they're trying to be on the DL about it, right? Like, I don't feel like, they didn't say, you're not getting away from us.
Well, again, also
Blackie.
too is the history of the University of, like any down south southern school. The
Oh,
University
without a doubt, there's racial connotation
of,
everywhere they
Texas,
go.
on there, they
Yeah.
wouldn't allow a black player on there till the 60s.
Well, I get it. I
Why do
get
you
it.
think? That's what again. Why Michigan State became prevalent in the 1950s in football? Why? Because he brought all the black players from down south.
Right.
Oh yeah,
But-
you got all these All-Americans on there, but they can't play for Texas or Oklahoma or Alabama. So they came up to like Michigan State and played for them.
But I guess my point is, I don't see any. I get it that yes, if you're in the area and they feel it, but I don't see where like the masses are listening to those lyrics
for us
and
to
listening to that song and they're going, wow, that's racist shit. Like, so I think I guess my point is, if you don't want to stand or you don't want to sing the song, then
It's not like Dixie.
yeah, exactly. If you don't want to sing the song, you have the right not to, and you shouldn't have to if it makes you feel a certain kind of way. So, like, I don't want to say any of that.
Well, they're going to be basically.
And-
Sarkeesian says we're all going to sing the song.
Well, that's
and all that
bullshit.
stuff. But again,
If it
it's
makes
just-
them feel a certain kind of way, my thing is though it just doesn't seem outwardly, adversively racist on its
it's not
face, right?
Right, I agree with you because
So-
it's not the most.
Yeah. So to me, yes, if you're in the area, the connotation because of the people around the area and how the community is or whatever. I understand that. But like I feel like it's lost on a lot of people, right? Everybody's going to critique everything, and that is going to be lost on a lot of people. Nobody's going to get it, and it's going to fall into that. Here we go again. Cancel culture. We can't have the Muppets. We can't have Dr. Seuss.
warning
We
before the
can't have
Muppet
the
Show.
fucking thing. No, but that's not how people are acting about it. No, it doesn't matter what it is, Moose. It's the perception and how people are reacting to it that matters. What the reality of what it is doesn't actually matter.
Oh, yeah.
It's the way people react to it and what they believe that truly matters.
Well, it's basically and especially one side of the people that have an issue with everything. So-
The fucking problem with it is one side is half this fucking country.
Right.
So it's your neighbor, it's your friend, it's your family member. You know what I mean? So you can't run from
it's
it.
My family members, all right.
But I mean, you can't. You can't escape it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just feel like, see, look he's gonna throw him. Watch, Bing. He just throws him around. They use him as a weapon. See, that's what that little guy's for. He's like a bowling ball.
And then you got the monster here.
Yes. But anyway, so yeah, I just feel like, yeah, I mean, whatever. It's it's gonna get lost on a lot of people. People are gonna be, they're not gonna get why or what the big deal is, and
Double suplex.
then it falls into that guy's a beast, and then it falls into the whole cancel culture, and then it just becomes this whole battle, and so here we go again. That's all I got to say. It's the same thing, dude. Moose, you saw how people reacted over the kneeling for the
Right,
anthem
of course,
shit.
yeah.
So how the fuck are they gonna act about this, dude? I mean, come on, man. They're gonna, it's just one of them things where it's like, not that they shouldn't or that any of this is right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying that's what's gonna happen. All this shit's gonna get lost on it, and it's unfortunate that, like I said, when you just hear the lyrics on its face, it doesn't sound overtly like racist or whatever. Now, if you're from that area and you know the connotation of what it really means and everybody talks about it, it's pretty obvious, then that's a different thing. I'm not down there. I I would never. I don't even think I would visit. Like, I don't care. Like, to me, a lot of those places are just third world countries that
I would like to go
fell
to
down
Austin,
here.
Texas.
Well, Austin's progressive.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Austin isn't considered Texas.
No.
All the Texans just fucking, all their toenails just peeled off their toes. They were so mad at what you just said. They're like, what? You would come to Austin? Fucking, we don't even want Austin anymore.
Well, they don't want Houston either.
Well, all the hipsters and shit are in them
Oh,
areas.
yeah, Austin's cool though.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't like. I mean, the rest of the state, no, they don't like
Oh,
it.
you know, great.
So,
Then you go around in the freezing cold.
so you know, it's just that's what I'm saying. Like, I have no desire really to go to some of these places, you know, where that kind of I don't know what else to say other than, like, you know, old school Neanderthal kind of thinking goes on. Whether for whatever reason, this is not necessarily political, but, like, you know, it's just there's just, yeah, it's just, some of those places are just full of fucking meatheads. Not that we don't have them here, but same thing. I don't want to. I'm never gonna be in a Santa suit in Philly. I'll tell you that.
Because I'll throw quarters at
You know, and Juan, I love you.
boo.
And Juan, I love you, brother. But you know, the city of brotherly love my ass.
Yeah. They're animals.
You guys are
Philly
fucking.
fans
You guys are
are-
savages. You guys are
You even
savages.
make Raider fan look human.
So
So we got that going on. Also, too,
we love you
is,
guys. I'm just fucking with you.
Yankees manager Aaron Boone is had a pacemaker put in.
Oh, yuck.
He's gonna be out for a couple days on it, but
Yeah, no, that's a pretty standard procedure now. It seems like
Yeah.
they could do it pretty easy. So,
And
but
it
that
could be
still
something where
sucks.
he's got a fluctuation of heartbeat and
Sure.
AFib on there, and it's just
Yeah,
on there. It doesn't say on there. It's not like, oh yeah, he's going in for
Sure.
quadruple bypass.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just a
nothing. Yeah,
pacemaker,
yep,
but still.
yep. Yeah, sometimes they just got the one where if you get a little off beat, it just gives you a little boop.
Oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, Carlos Mendoza. I thought it was
But,
Julie Mendoza. Carlos Mendoza is going to take over as interim manager. Okay.
okay, gotcha.
But yeah, we got that. And not on the good news is former NFL tight end and first round pick Kellen Winslow Jr. is now going to Puskow for 14 years for the sexual assault on a 77-year-old.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
He pled out
What kind of
guilty.
fucking animal?
Inappropriate acts in front of a 77-year-old woman and exposed himself to his 57-year-old neighbor.
So he was like rubbing one out in front of his old lady neighbor?
Yeah.
What a creeper! The fuck's wrong with people? Who does that?
And it was alleged rape of a 54-year-old hitchhiker and the 2003 rape of an unconscious 17-year-old high school senior. Winslow pleaded guilty to both prior to being retired on the charges. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's
He was a
brutal.
piece of shit. I mean, all the stories you heard about coming out, this is even worse. I mean, dude. Hope your father disowned you.
Ugh.
Ugh. Ugh is right.
Ugh. I mean, whatever. Bye. You know,
ya.
don't drop the soap, motherfucker.
Hope you do.
Yeah, I hope they don't give you rope soap anymore. No soap on a rope for him. Jeez. Yeah, I goddamn. Well, you know, the NFL is not necessarily not its first run-in with less than savory former players, I guess.
Yes.
And I was getting into a thing about the whole. I was listening to a podcast. Well, no, it wasn't. I take that back. It was an audio book about the CTE thing, and we remember the Junior Seau incident.
Yeah.
And all that, and gosh, you know, when you really dig deep into that, maybe we'll do a special show episode on that with the NFL and how they affected how CTE and all the different, and the dude, I didn't realize how far back this went. Like, this shit went back decades.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I didn't realize how deep it was and all this. So, and how many different guys did the same kind of thing as Junior Seau. So, it's
Seau did it. Dave Duerson did.
Yep.
Did the same thing.
Yep.
Um,
There was another guy too. I forget his name. So, but yeah. So it's just.
Mike Webster really died as a homeless person.
Yep. Yeah, he was in. Yeah, there's a guy, I can't remember his name now
Worse
either.
was Lyle Alzado because he died of brain cancer because he was taking pituitary extracts from cadavers.
So crazy. But the stuff is with CTE, it makes you just think and do some wild ass shit. So that's like one of the because of the way it messes with your cerebral cortex and the way your brain fires and all that. It's pretty wild stuff. But yeah, that's a scary scenario. But I couldn't believe that when I was getting into that. It was pretty wild. So maybe we'll do an episode on that. But we still have a lot to get into. We got NHL stuff. Maybe we get a little bit more NBA talk. Whatever you guys want to get into. Text lines available to you. Social media across the board. Studio 57 Radio and Studio57Radio.com. I am parched. It is time for a break.
We're Studio 57 Radio, DSR2.
Listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life. Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
Are taking over this broadcast for the Ultimate Underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, with clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390, or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
All right, Rebels, thanks for hanging with us for that first hour. We had Mike and Roy and another Mike and Danny and Mary and everybody in on it doing this thing, and we're having some fun. We talked a little NBA, and the game of the night right now looks to be the Philly game. And we talked some other stuff, some NCAA basketball, all that good stuff. Now, got a little NFL around the corner here. We're going to get into some hockey time. It's hockey time right here on DSR2. You want to get in on the conversation, you want to do it. Social media across the board, Studio 57 Radio. You can get to the text line or studio57radio.com. I'll get that text line to you here in just a second. So without further ado, let's get into part 2 of DSR2. I am Scrappy and here at Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for the second hour of DSR2 on this glorious Wednesday here in March. We went right from like the frigid, freezing, icebox cold to wonderful like spring-like day.
Yeah, I mean, for welcome to the Midwest. We're happy that it's 50.
Up and down. It'll be like in the 30s like tomorrow, and that's fine. Whatever.
Welcome to the Midwest. We're excited that it's 47. You know,
I'll take it 53 degrees.
All right.
I actually sat outside Sunday and had a cigar.
Isn't that nice?
And a bourbon.
That's nice. That's so nice. I like. It's funny because I'm not a huge winter fan, but I'm not a hater either. But I'll tell you, when it starts changing back to spring, it's so wonderful.
Yes.
Like, it's been a long gray winter, and you know, with the COVID thing going on, it's just exacerbated that so much more. So to be able to have kind of spring open up, and I can't wait to kind of hear the birds again and all that other stuff. And on a nature note, last Friday was the full moon. They call it the full snow moon, you know, and you could fucking tell. Okay, so all you jackass motherfuckers out there driving like a bunch of fucking clowns and looking at me like I'm the fucking retard, be happy you didn't get the fuck out the car when I told you to. Okay, I was pretty fucking pissed. And then the guy that didn't turn on his fucking blinker and didn't look and just wanted to come over and kill me with his fucking car, and then didn't have the balls to even give me the nod that oops, my bad. Be happy you didn't get out of the car when I asked you to. Okay. You son of a bitch. But it was a wild day, and the moon really, so the weather, if the moon can affect you, the weather is that much more. So for me, so yeah, I was in a rage over the moon thing. Everybody else was being idiots over the moon thing. I was like, is it a full fucking moon? I looked it up. I looked at the sky. It looked like a full moon, and it was like this crazy full snow moon thing that happens, whatever, da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, wow. And so we are very much affected by that. And here in Michigan, or in the Midwest, or other parts of the world where you have this crazy cold, and then I just love that part where you transition out of the gray and into the sunny, warm weather. I don't know. It's very satisfying, just as satisfying as the change back, right? Right. I love the fall, where things, all the footballs in the air, of course, and you're still rocking the barbecue smell, and now the leaves are all pretty. It sucks to have to rake them up, but they do look very nice. And you know, around here we take drives just to go look at the fucking trees. You know, that's like, yeah. Welcome to the Midwest. Welcome to the Midwest, where driving through trees is fucking entertainment. But yes. It's nice, and so I like that kind of stuff. So I'm getting excited. You can tell right now that usually, right, Moose, usually sports is our litmus of the seasons, right? But right now for me, because sports has been a little shifted and whack, you can actually, it's the light, right? Now we're starting to get a little daylight in the morning, and it's lasting a little bit longer.
It's light a little earlier in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I got to get up now.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Yeah,
so
I'm early, but that's all right. But again, you get home, and it's still light out for a little while.
Yep. So I like that. I like that we're kind of going through the changes, and as we go through, hopefully some positive changes, not only with the season here, but with all the COVID stuff and sports stuff. We get into NHL. We'll get into some cool NFL stuff too, because there's plenty of free agent stuff that'll be coming up in the coming weeks, and we'll get into some of that today. But NHL had some pretty good games going on. I mean, some blowouts, but I mean, they're not for lack of action.
No.
I mean, you're having like 5 to 6 games and shit out here. Shootout overtime wins. You're having even the blowouts. You're still getting 8 or 10 points on the board.
Yes.
It's like hockey seems really wide open this year, and it's been pretty entertaining. I haven't caught as many games as I should, considering we. I mean, I guess hockey isn't. It's not probably the most popular thing that we talk about here. I think the NFL kind of dominates, but so I should probably be watching a little bit more of these hockey games. But there's been some really good hockey this year, and I'm kind of excited to see how things plan out and go on from there. Try being a driving instructor during full moons. It's crazy, dude. I'm with you.
What's worse is working at an ER during a full moon.
I'm telling you.
Because they know it's like, oh, we're gonna get everything.
You're gonna get, yeah, it's gonna be redonkulous.
So yeah, we got the NHL. What unfortunately is Sidney Crosby's in the COVID protocol.
There's a couple of teams that have really gotten hit with that, and that's the biggest thing. That's really been the biggest issue. I know it's funky too because of the way it's split. The league is split, but I just, I don't know. I just think that you're still getting pretty good hockey. You have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, right? It's like we already know what we got going on. It's the same thing with any of these seasons. You just got to know it's COVID's part of this thing, and it's just, and you don't have to put an asterisk next to it necessarily, but you got to understand, things are not going to necessarily be quote unquote normal. So, but you got to take the best of what you can out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On there, so you look at that on there, and they're talking to us like a story on the CBS here is why the again as chaotic it was is the outdoor weekend there in Lake Tahoe on there because they had to postpone one game 9 hours because the sun created unsafe on there and they played that night. But yet they said freaking worked, and again it was. I mean, once it got dark out there, it worked on there.
Yeah, but you're there for like 12 hours or some shit. That's so stupid.
Tahoe too. I mean.
Yeah, come on, let's be real.
Cold out there,
and then what's the ice gonna do when it's getting that prolonged sun, dude? Come on.
Melting at the way. I remember the first when they did the Heritage Classic in Edmonton one year. It was the Oilers versus Montreal. The temperature on the ice at game time was like 20 below zero. I mean, even the goalies had little freaking toques on their head because they were losing air, man, heat through the helmet. Even their helmet, like, man, I gotta wear that to keep my head warm. At least,
it was cold though, right? Yeah. But so the ice is gonna be okay. You just
that's the one thing. It gets cold in Lake Tahoe.
No, sure.
But the problem is you get those sunny days and that sun just beats down on
exactly.
that ice and melts it on there.
Yes, that's my point.
Maybe you know what you just do. You do it again. You just have the games at night.
Well, that's my thing.
One day when they postponed it and they played them after it got dark there. It was great. It was fun to watch, and again, they got the highest ratings they got in years for a regular season game.
Well, my take on it,
they need to do that from now on.
Well, and that's what they need to do. And anybody with any kind of common sense and does any kind of research on the weather, I don't know why you would do that when you have a fucking ice to maintain outside. But sure, let's just ignore that shit.
Yeah.
So they know what the environment is there. It's not a surprise. So they shit the bed on that one. They did it because they wanted to get some fucking palm trees in the fucking picture. It's stupid. Just, they should have just had, like you said, the game should have just been scheduled to be a night game, and that would have came off so much better. But that was a bit of a disaster.
Yes.
Imagine being like, the crew or whatever, and you're basically just stuck there all fucking day. You're held hostage for fucking.
There's nothing you can do.
Oh my god, I'd be so mad. Canada Mike is very happy with these new hockey divisions because the Leafs are doing so well.
You know,
So he's like all for it. He's like,
you
we
know,
could
on
just.
this day in 1986, Wayne Gretzky became the youngest player to score 500 goals.
Dun, 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 dun. Stat of the day.
Stat of the day. Geek stat of the day.
Oh, yes. So, I don't know. Like I said, you're getting some quality hockey out here, regardless. So, but the NFL is all year round,
Right.
and that doesn't ever seem to change. And no matter how good hockey gets, we always seem to have a trickle on down to the NFL. Now, I don't want to hear none of this baseball spring training crap, okay? Nobody cares right now. And we'll worry about baseball when it gets rolling.
Mickey looks great.
Yes. I hear people talking stuff about the Tigers. Like, I listened to a couple preseason, a couple of these spring training games just because it was nice to hear the guys on the radio.
Yeah.
But, like, fuck out of here. That nonsense. So,
Spring training.
it's fucking spring training. So, not too much. But, I mean, there's, every once in a while,
like, what's that? There's a new stat there, too, that you can actually end the inning if the pitcher goes 20 pitches into
Yes.
the first inning.
Yes.
It doesn't record it out. You can just say inning over, go to the next one.
Yes. You can just, like, forfeit after so many runs, I think, now.
Well, he actually did. He literally walked 4 guys with bases loaded. It's like, all right, we're done.
So, so it's one of those things. Yeah, it's like it's kind of silly. So that is actually probably the biggest thing to talk about in spring training at the moment, because until they start getting, I mean, right now it's all cute, but I mean, until they start getting into some, like legitimate.
Minor League, the
games.
AAA says they're postponing the start of the season until May.
Yeah, well. And we still have got, so there's conversation to be had with baseball. It's just a little early yet. Same thing with, there's plenty of conversations to be had about how
There's
this, that, and the other are
going
going to have
What do you mean they're not opening up Tigers Comerica to full capacity for opening day? Really?
really? Are you that dumb?
Where have you been for the last year?
Right. Yeah, because it's coming up on a year.
Yeah. We're at a year, like in 2 weeks from
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. Yes. Well, March 11th, right, was when all the games stepped down.
A week ago. Next week will be a 1-year anniversary.
Yes.
When we were talking about
We were here and doing the show, and everything, the whole sporting world
with
stopped.
Utah being the game, they calling the canceling the game with Utah because of Goldberg getting COVID.
Yep, and then all the fucking
And then
college games.
College games were getting canceled.
Yep. I mean, the sports world shut the day the sports world shut down.
Yep.
March 11th, 2019.
2020.
2020, sorry. No one will ever forget that shit.
Nope. We were doing it. I'm like, holy crap, they're canceling.
Yeah, that was one of the more wild shows we've ever done.
Because it was breaking live.
Yeah, it was like the world was shutting down as we talked about it. It was just so weird in real time. Yeah, that was one of the most surreal. So yeah, that's coming up. That's literally it. Next week's show, it would be the day after, technically, date wise. But yeah, so maybe we'll talk a little bit about that
next week.
Next week, we'll get into that.
It'll be the 1-year anniversary. So yeah, as we said, as Canada makes this to Maple Leafs are first in the North. Again, 17-4-2. 23 games played. They got 36 points. They're playing well.
They're playing, yeah.
The Winnipeg is second in the division now by points wise, and then Edmonton third, and then Montreal's been falling apart, and Calgary and Vancouver and so forth. So
well, a lot of these Canadian teams are really having COVID issues, and it's not just them.
No.
But it's that's been as this thing balances out and they get guys back, you'll start seeing improvements from some of these teams.
Well, yeah, the only team out there that's had more COVID issues on there has been the Dallas Stars.
Yes,
they've only played 17 games.
Yes, I was about to say. Now we're gonna get into the Stars, and then again,
that's a shocker.
Well, yeah, from a state that's gonna reopen and they're gonna get rid of their mask mandate. So it's the whole mentality of the people of what's going on down
US
there.
on there too.
Sure.
You got Tampa, who's only played 20, and
Sure.
Boston.
Boston's
played 19, Philly 19,
Yep.
Jersey 18.
Well, and those are all hotbeds, all of them. And and until this stuff is taken seriously and start doing stuff, you're going to have these issues. And we understand that when we're dealing with all this stuff, that's not, like I said, you're not going to put an asterisk next to it, but COVID's always going to be part of the story when it comes to these what's going on with these sports. And to me, when we see X, Y, and Z team having these problems, and then you look at X, Y, and Z states are having these problems, and then you look at these states, X, Y, and Z states are doing or not doing A, B, and C, and it's a direct result. I mean, like this, none of this stuff is rocket science, and although all the evidence is there, it just kind of continues to happen, and there's gonna be more of these stories. And so there's certain and like you said, like we were talking about before with like the NBA All-Star game, when you start intermingling teams, then you're just asking for it. It's not about whether playing the game is safer than any other game. It's about mitigating the spread of a virus that's highly contagious and is pretty rapidly moving. And the big thing with something like that too is, how does that affect, you down the road? We've talked about it, health concerns, how viable is the vaccine if there's mutations, like what all these effects happen if you get into the whole butterfly effect. And we're not going to do all that here, but we all know that stuff, right? So it's just, we gotta, I don't know what to say. It's gonna be a microcosm. Sports is always a microcosm of like what's going on in the real world, and it is just so much more evident and so much more obvious with COVID. It just stands out, and so that's what we're seeing here. A lot of these teams are in states that have much more relaxed protocols, and that becomes a problem.
Yes.
And so sports will be affected. And right now it already is, right? There's no international travel. Look at the way the NHL is laid out. When did you ever think you would see something like that?
I don't know how they're going to get to the playoffs.
Dude, what are they going to do when it comes to Stanley Cup time?
Yeah.
The finals.
2-week break and then just go into bubble in Canada again?
That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to do some kind of bubble situation. They're going to have to take a couple of weeks off. They're going to have to do testing.
Yeah.
And and that's it. That's all they can do. But so yeah, you're gonna end up having some kind of gap between conference final. Before the conference finals, they're gonna have to take a break. Whether they just do like 10 days or what. CDC I think recommends 7 to 10 days. None of them cats are skipping in line for vaccinations, of course, as they say. So. It's not like that's going to have any impact. CDC did put out new rules for people that have been fully vaccinated, but it's just going to be something. It's going to be a continuous topic of conversation. We talked about it before. It's like beating a dead horse. We get sick of talking about it, but it's Rona. Right. We're going to be dealing with it, and so you're seeing it there, but. Some teams are benefiting from this. We talked about it with the NBA last year being in the bubble. Some teams thrive in these situations while others crumble. Right now, the Leafs are thriving, and they're winning. They're playing good hockey. So
they're
if they can maintain that, I'm very curious to see, like you said, how they're going to handle.
Yeah, right now they're leading
finals.
the North Division, which is the Canadian division, and they're second in the league in the point differential.
Right.
Plus 26, which is second only to the Lightning, which are plus 32. Well, again, Maple Leafs have gotten they're the best scoring team in the NHL with 81 goals, 55 against. The Tampa Bay is like 71 goals, 39. Tampa's got a little better defense-wise,
right,
than Toronto. But Edmonton, 79 goals, 72. But again, yeah, I mean, you look on there, this could be possibly the year for Toronto. I mean, if you look at basically the East, how they're going to work this is I don't know, because they broke it all up, so they would probably be Central and East and one, North and the West and another. So yeah, Toronto could conceivably come out to the on the playoffs there. You know, okay, of course, we got Washington Capitals atop of the East. I'm not mentioning it because the Capitals aren't going to do anything.
I was say, yeah.
We're not biting into it.
No.
No.
You know, we
Actually, I
don't.
don't like anybody in the East. Maybe Boston just because of the goaltending, but really, I don't like anybody coming out of the East down here. It really is. It's Tampa and Carolina, and then you've got Toronto, and also is Vegas and St. Louis again.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how this thing plays out, but should be
Technically,
fun.
the Wings do not have the least amount of. Well, they don't have the least amount of points on there.
Yeah, they're terrible.
But they're terrible.
They just got blown out, didn't they, last night?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Dallas has got one less point than us, but then again, they played 8 less games than us. But the point
That's horrible.
differential, the Wings are minus 30. They're terrible.
Wow.
Only Ottawa comes close to us being just that terrible.
That's bad. That is bad. So, free agency like a mofo.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Cats are getting released.
Dude, why is Russell Wilson talking shit? Why is that even a thing? You've heard it, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys aren't up to speed, there's been conversation about Russell Wilson not necessarily being happy with Seattle or whatever.
Right, he's getting tired of getting sacked and getting his ass handed to him.
But what you're not he's not going anywhere.
No,
they're
not
gonna
gonna
figure it out. They're not taking the cap hit. He's got nowhere to go. He's gonna backpedal on that.
Yes.
We talked about it last week. They're bringing Big Ben back.
Yeah.
This is not a surprise.
Big Ben's gonna take a pay cut.
He's gonna take a shave. He's gonna come in for the league minimum.
Yeah. I mean, again, as we said, is the Dolphins just released Kyle Van Noy after signing him to a 4-year, $51 million deal. $30 million was guaranteed.
Yeah.
And they said it's plain and simple. We save $10 million off the cap if we cut him.
Yeah, just bye-bye. 1 year. Bye-bye. One and done. Don't
He'll
care.
sign up. He'll probably Baltimore's looking to sign him to have more. Obviously, because Baltimore needs more defense.
Uh,
They need to sign a freaking receiver there for Lamar.
yeah, they do. They really do.
Lions signed Terrell. Terrell Williams there for the Raiders, who cut him after 1 year. 1 year deal, $6 million. Not bad. Kyle Rudolph got cut by the Vikings. Of course, now he's talking about joining the Patriots. Brady is now. The rumors are that even though Larry Fitzgerald retired, he may come out of retirement and sign with Tampa.
Oh yeah.
Because again, really, that's what Tampa Bay needs. A receiver.
See, I heard that he may. I don't know that he filed his paperwork yet, and that he may come back to Zona since
J.J.
Watt
signed a 2-year deal with them.
Yeah.
The Arizona signing J.J. really wondering what they're thinking, because they've already got Chandler Jones. Are they going to cut him and waive him? But you also got Hassan Reddick, who he's off his rookie deal, who was actually kind of a bust till last year, and then they figured out, oh wow, let's put him on the outside and rush the passer, and he ends up with double-digit sacks.
Right.
So are you not going to re-sign him? Because dude's 25 years old. Sign the 25-year-old versus a 31-year-old broken down defensive end with J.J. Watt.
Well, I feel like they paid him quite a bit of money for something that, like you said, isn't necessarily a need per se. And so I'm not sure that I understand it from that standpoint. I get it from his standpoint. I mean, nice weather, not too far to travel from where he's at. Probably the best money he was going to get. But, dude, why did he go to Cleveland?
If he wanted to win,
Dude, why didn't he go to fucking Cleveland?
You know, is Cleveland they're talking about going to Cleveland? Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh.
Yikes.
Dude's coming off on there. He got injured, got the knee injury, but he'll be back next year. Dude's coming off on there. Dude, Pittsburgh's not going to be able to re-sign him because they're in salary cap hell.
Yeah, they're well, and that's why
and then
the
you
bed.
go to Cleveland says, "Come here, take 2 birds with 1 stone." Piss off Pittsburgh, and you got a guy there to get your pass rush up in order.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, again, I would if that makes sense. Actually, that makes more sense for Cleveland wise to sign the young guy out there than going down with J.J. Watt. So.
Well, right, but I'm just
That's
thinking from a
actually-
J.J. Watt standpoint.
Yeah,
like,
J.J. would have been better
Why?
off.
Yeah, why wouldn't you go to Cleveland or?
Top one. Let's see. We'll just do the top 10. Well, maybe on your top 10 free agents. Obviously, Dak Prescott's number one.
Yeah,
Leonard-
I hear that they're going to sign him.
The Dallas is gonna. They need. To
I heard that they will sign him. They're so confident with his rehab that they will give him a long-term deal right now. So I don't know how true that is, but if that's the truth, expect to see that soon as that can happen.
Right. Otherwise, what are they gonna do? They're in dire need. Then.
Yeah, I mean, you end up in all kinds of. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nightmare.
Leonard Williams from the defensive end from the Giants. Number 2, Chris Godwin, receiver from the Buccaneers. Brandon Scherf, guard with the Washington football team. Trent Williams with Frisco. He's probably going to re-sign with Frisco, but 33 years old. They may just honor. Shaq Barrett with Tampa Bay. Allen Robinson with the Bears. Justin Simmons, free safety with the Broncos. Taylor Moton with the offensive tackle with the Panthers. Kenny Galladay, number 10, with the Lions. I heard the Lions may tag him for a 1-year deal and try to figure something out. Joe Thuney, who's definitely going to be leaving the Patriots guard. Hunter Henry, tight end Chargers. Marcus Williams, free safety Saints. And Levante David, inside linebacker for Tampa. I heard Levante David also may be going to Cleveland, too. That's what they're talking about then. And then
interesting.
John New Smith. So,
Well, New England's going to be an interesting story because they're going to have quite a few guys back after they opted out last year.
yeah.
And we still don't know the quarterback situation. That's the same kind of thing over there with San Francisco. We don't really know what we're going to get out of them. Don't know the quarterback situation. So there's a lot of intangibles out there, or these teams that you just have lots of needs, and who knows which way they're going to roll. So I'm interested to see how things go going forward. I like how people this is going to be the time of year where all the bullshit's going to be put out there, right? Like,
Right.
you don't leak any real strategy now. Now's the time to leak shit that's not, and you're seeing that, right? Like, oh yeah, we like everybody. We like this guy, we like that guy. Even our boy here in Detroit, he said the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're asking him about, what are you gonna do with, this, that. He's like, well, I like this. I like every quarterback in this draft. I like this, I like that. And he just basically said he loves everybody. And, if you're looking for somebody, you better come work with us because we might take him. And I like that attitude, right? Like where you're putting out that kind of message, and of course you're not going to tip your hand, hopefully. And you're going to put out, he basically said he likes everybody. He didn't tell you shit, but made you think maybe quarterback's an option, all kinds of different things when you listen to that. So that's what smart GMs and coaches do right now. They put out stuff that's not really accurate. So all that being said, a lot of the shit we're talking about now, even the stuff that I heard, could all be bullshit. That could all be intentional leaks for the sake of being able to do your business, right?
Yeah, well, who's leaking it? Agents. That's their job.
Absolutely.
That's their job. Leaking
Absolutely.
stuff out there to make their guy look better on there. Deshaun Watson looks like right now is the odds-on favorite to trade for him might be is Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Dave Tepper, who definitely wants to get Deshaun Watson into Carolina. And again, that means his Teddy Two Gloves might be out.
Yeah, well, then he's going to go to a team that he's a quarterback. Like, we talked about it before.
Teddy Two Gloves going back to New Orleans.
Why not?
He knows the system.
Yeah, I'd rather have Teddy Two Gloves than any of the guys they got on roster right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
We talked about that when they had to cut him.
He did, was it not 2019 when Brees was out 5 games?
Yeah, he played great.
He started lighting. I mean, he had a couple good games. Okay, all right, he's pretty good. And then the last 3 games, he lit it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Teddy too. I don't know what the deal is with him. But yeah, this is it. This is the first couple of dominoes when this stuff happens about what we talked about with all these quarterbacks potentially moving. Now, Roethlisberger's staying put, so there's not going to be a quarterback change there. And of course Brady will be back. And now there's rumors that Breeze might not be retired yet either, which he needs to retire. He's one of my favorites of all time, but he's not. He needs to retire.
Dude was literally broken in half.
Yeah, it's not worth it to me. Like, what you can accomplish with the team you have around you is not worth putting yourself through that when you're at the end of your career and you've accomplished as much as you've had. I don't know. I just didn't think it's prudent, but that it's his life, his body, his decision. But so you're gonna have, but you're still looking at 15 quarterback positions move. We the Stafford Goff thing. There's 2 right there, and these are some of the other ones, and we'll see. The biggest disservice that I've seen really now, because we talk about everybody's putting out bad information, who they like, who they don't like. I think the biggest disservice has been the fuck's it, Mac Davis. Is that who it is? Mac Davis? Somebody compared him to said he was a mobile Tom Brady.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, thank you. That is the single biggest disservice you can do to anybody. How can you be the greatest of all time but better?
Right. Here's an ironic thing too. And here you'll get a kick on here. In 1983, Terry Bradshaw had to go in for surgery on his throwing elbow. So he did it basically incognito and filed a fake name at the hospital. Guess what was the name he chose as his fake name? Tom Brady.
That's awesome.
So thus, Tom Brady is the GOAT because he's won 11 Super Bowls.
Yes. He gets all of Terry Bradshaw's Super Bowls too.
Terry Bradshaw channeled himself out of him and into Tom Brady. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's like Chucky, right? Where his soul went into a toy instead of went into Tom Brady. Is it?
Chucky's soul went out of him and into John Gruden.
But yeah, so it's just one of those things where they put out bullshit. How do you say that? That's like the biggest. First off, it's not even fair to the kid because nobody's gonna be Tom Brady. There was one Tom Brady. There's not been anything close, and who knows if or when the next quote unquote Tom Brady would come around. Let alone you now are saying the only thing Tom Brady couldn't do is what he can do.
Right.
So now he's Tom Brady times 10. So now the table for this guy, the bar is set for this guy to win 10 championships?
Yeah.
I mean,
got to go to 15 Super Bowls
and win 10 of them. And win 10 of them. Like that. I mean, what kind of ignorant shit is that? And I know you're trying to upsell a guy that you don't even fucking want. If you really thought that, you'd keep your mouth shut and you would pick him with your pick.
Also, too, all the guys are poo-pooing to be like, well, how's he going to handle adversity? Because he only basically trailed in every game last year. If you take all the games combined, he only trailed for a total of 13 minutes.
That's insane.
Well, how's he going to handle adversity? I mean, he's never been behind because he's got the best offensive line of college football. He's got the best receiving core in college football. He's still throwing dimes on top teams out there.
The only thing that doesn't translate and that you can't really tell per se is how they read defensive disguises and coverages and stuff, right? So they like to disguise coverages with the defense and do tricky stuff. Are you smart enough to see what they're doing, be able to call plays at the line, and adjust on the fly? That and working from the pocket are the biggest fucking problems for these quarterbacks coming into the league.
Right.
That's what they need to fucking worry about. That other shit don't fucking matter.
Right. How do they read defenses? Do they play in a standard pro offense?
Right. It doesn't matter. You know what? Guess what? Every quarterback with a good offensive line will play well.
Yeah.
Your goal should be to protect. So your quarterback has the single most influence on the game. Your quarterback is the longest tenured player on your game, on your team, and your quarterback, usually commands the most money on your team.
Right.
So why the fuck, when you take would you not protect that investment? If you don't protect that investment, then none of that shit matters. So that's ultimately why Tom Brady was mad. They weren't protecting the investment.
Right.
So he went to somewhere that would.
Right.
So, like, you can love all these quarterbacks, or you can hate them because they had, quote unquote, the best offensive line. Well, so am I supposed to hate, Phillip Rivers because they had a great offensive line?
And they had a great running game?
Right. Like, I was supposed to be mad at him? Like, no, dude. I'm mad at him because he
They
didn't
didn't throw the ball 20 yards downfield.
Right. Right.
But yeah, as I said, they bitch about Mac Jones. I'm like, all right, so, but then again, they didn't trail anything, but they still went to the championship, the playoffs. Right. He still took apart Notre Dame and Ohio State.
But look, we're talking about two narratives here, right? One guy compared him to Tom Brady times 10.
And the other guys think they're hot garbage.
Right.
I think he's good. Is he?
They're all selling a bill of goods because it's all bullshit going into the draft.
No, in the draft. Will he be a pretty? I think he's gonna be an okay. I think he's gonna be a good player. I think he'll be a late first rounder. He may have.
Well, with the need for quarterback, he could go high. We've seen teams reach.
But but if he goes in a team, say goes to like Frisco or one of the better teams out there, need a quarterback, but they're a really good team. Dude's gonna light it up. Why? Because he's gonna be walking in the same better scenario than say Trevor Lawrence.
Well, it's kind of like the Herbert situation, right? People weren't totally sure, but then he gets into the league, and you're like, oh, dude, this guy's got it.
But he also too had a great team around him too.
Right. Same scenario.
Right.
So, like, this is the Herbert scenario all over. You just don't know yet. So I don't know that he'll be that good or that bad or whatever. I'm just saying it's one of those situations. But that's my whole point with what we're hearing now. As much as we talk about this stuff, and like I even said, this is what I hear, and none of that shit really means anything because it's all smoke and mirrors right now. Because why would you tip your hand? I mean, if you're at the World Series of Poker, why are you fucking tipping your hand?
The Lions are smart. They're gonna get Chase Daniels to get fired, waived immediately and say go away. They say, well, yeah, how many quarterbacks? Yeah, we got one.
All right.
What are we gonna do? I don't know.
Whatever.
What? You want to talk? Talk.
Yep.
Make me an offer.
Yep. Everybody will start freaking out.
Kiss my ass. What are you doing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you not taken? I don't fucking know.
Well, that's kind of like what our boy did here. He was kind of like, I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll do. I like all the quarterbacks. Maybe I want to do that.
Maybe I want to do that. But you know what? I think the Lions are going to trade down.
Well, I think that's what that was. That was kind of like.
But they're not going to put themselves in there. They're going to try to say, "Oh yeah, we don't know what we do."
Yeah.
Because unlike the previous regime, oh yeah, here it is, Chase Daniels before the draft. Well, great. We like to trade out of it. Yeah, we'll give you shit.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how this plays because, we've heard all this stuff before.
At least they're playing the game better than the last regime.
I mean, are they, or are they just, or?
Well, then again, it doesn't take much to be better than the last guys.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying they're great. I said they're playing better.
Yeah, I mean, when the bar's that low, does it matter?
Because the bar is kind of low on there.
Yeah, when it's underground, does it matter?
But we'll see what happens. But there could be easily 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round this year.
Right.
At least.
Yep. And then you could end up with 3 or 4 of them playing in the league right away. Right. So and that's going to be part of the turnover. That's going to be the quarterback carousel. But it's only getting started, folks. It's only getting started.
Yeah,
the
they
NFL
could trade down with say the Washington football team and trade down to 19, and you get a second this year, second, and the number 1 next year. I take it. Take it and run.
Sure. Because
you need, whereas we
have
no talent.
No,
we need, as they say, the lottery tickets.
You need what we call a draft equity.
Yes, we need fun money.
Yep.
We need the little coupons.
So you got to get as much of that stuff.
Because I'm not taking a receiver in my top pick on there. Again, the only way I may on it, I don't even know if I take a quarterback and just say, let's see what happens. Do I take the 4th quarterback overall? No. But if Penny Sewell is sitting there at number 7, I may have to take the best tackle out there on there. Sure. And then you just throw him right. Then you got your bookends there, at least for a couple years.
Yeah.
Keep the guy upright and be able to run the ball.
Right on.
That's what I mean. But
Yeah.
if somebody wants to offer me a second and a first next year, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Good, then they're sitting at 3 number ones next year. Then you can wheel a deal.
So your boy Carson Wentz went to his new team, and he wanted number 11.
And they told him get that.
Yes. Your wide receiver said, "Yeah, fuck you."
Michael
Good
Pittman
start.
said- Michael Pittman said, "Kiss my ass."
Good start, eh?
That's gonna go over well.
Good start. That's gonna the Carson Wentz thing's gonna be a fart in church. That's what that shit is. It's gonna be a fart in church. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I want
A
him to
team
fail,
that basically-
but it'll be fun. The
As you
entertainment
say, is
value.
your underachieving team of next year, the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah,
They could be.
it could be.
Because, yeah, they are set there basically. Yeah, great. You gave up a 3 and a 2.
Yeah, I mean, you know, leadership is it's hard to quantify, but it should never be underappreciated or underestimated what it does in a locker room,
Right.
and what it does for a team. And when you have a guy that has a head case, in my opinion, he's got, you know, I don't want to say he's a head case, like he's not like Aaron Hernandez or anything like that, but he's definitely fragile in the psyche department.
Yes.
And when you have a guy that's like that, and he's a little bit too self-absorbed to be a leader, that can be an issue.
He has all the physical tools, but he has a
Right.
5-cent head.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
That's the
That's-
classic, as I
yeah.
would say, is, you know what it is? It's a classic Jeff George.
Right.
Had the best arm out there.
Oh, sure.
But he had a 5-cent fucking head,
Yeah.
and nobody could stand him. He was
Yeah.
such a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, and that's
That's why he
ultimate.
never stood out on anything.
Right.
He went from team to team to team
Yep.
to team to team.
Yep.
Because he's a whiny little bitch.
Yeah. So I think that's what's gonna. We'll find out how that plays out.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I
Johnny
just feel like
Manziel
it's
is
the
no
same
longer
thing.
be known as Johnny Football. He's going to be Johnny Golf. He's going to try golfing now.
He needs to be Johnny. Shut the fuck up.
He's Johnny, get a fucking job.
He needs to fucking Johnny win a fucking game that matters.
Johnny, you need to work for you get a job with your fucking dad
Oh
in the
man.
oil industry. Basically, you know what you need to do? Yeah, go sweep the goddamn office out there, Johnny.
Yeah, he needs to fucking.
Here's a broom. What do you get paid? $12 an hour.
Right,
Shut the fuck up.
Johnny Manziel. So it looks like the CFL is gonna go another season. We heard that there was issues, but the CFL might try to do
Trying
another
to get a
season.
season going?
Yeah. So there you go, a little note from our buddy from Canada, our Canada Mike there. So appreciate that little info, that little nugget. So next week, guys, will be the 1 year anniversary of the day the sporting world stood still. So what's the over under on ESPN documentaries about the subject?
It'll be a 10-part 30 for 30.
Yeah.
So that way, what I would say is 10.
10. 10. That's
It'll be a 30 for 30.
so we'll set the
When
over under at,
sports shut down.
yeah, so it'll be the over under is 9.5 documentaries.
Each episode will be an hour and a half. It'll
Yes.
be 15 hours.
It'll be 15 hours of fucking everything that happened on a Wednesday and Thursday. I guess there'd be a few more days, but that Wednesday was pretty wild, man. It's still, you know what's crazy about it too? Because at the time, we're kind of like, okay, we didn't know the severity of the situation. And I think if we got done talking about the show, or we got done doing the show, and we did like a post podcast after the show of what we really thought would happen, I don't think any of us thought we'd be sitting here still talking about this shit the way we are, in the manner that we are, and dealing with sports the way that we are. I think we would assume that things would have gotten back to what would be normal, or close to it, and we just kind of hasn't.
Yeah, I would not have thought of the Super Bowl being played in with 15,000 people.
Right.
Watching it. I wouldn't know.
And we're in a situation where that was even kind of risky, right? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't even think that would happen, and they it's just they happen to play in a state that's allowed people to to move and do a little bit more. So wild times, guys. So it's been a wild ride throughout this whole thing. I know the mental health is a big deal, guys, so I hope you guys, everybody is doing what they can to stay healthy, not only physically but mentally, guys. We give you a couple of hours of silliness. I hope you understand a lot of this is tongue-in-cheek. We're having fun here, and not to take us too seriously, but hopefully we get your mind away from some of that stuff and give you just a little something to look forward to. Sports is not being consumed. Even what we do here, it's just not being consumed the way it was. We have our minds on other things and concerned about, economic situations and unrest situation, all these different things going on in the real world. So we'll always try to give you that escape the best that we can. So we appreciate you guys, whether you come for 5 minutes or for the whole 2 hours, if you come every week or if you come once a month or once a year, whether you comment, text, or just lay back in the cut and listen. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we hope that you're doing well and that you continue to. And don't be afraid to come out, check out the show, and get in on the conversation through the text line, through our social media accounts, and all that stuff, because sometimes just shooting the shit with a couple of dudes about sports can get your mind away from some things that can just really cause a shit ton of anxiety. So, I implore you to, find whatever makes you happy in these days, whether it be your family, whether it be a hobby, whether it be a sporting event or a TV thing or whatever, and consume as much of that happiness as you possibly can right now, and spread it to others, because we all could use that. So I want to thank everybody for chiming in here. Shout outs like I usually do. I got Canada Mike, of course, Roy, Michael, Danny, Mary, Jay, and everybody else that got in, some of the unnamed texters. Appreciate you guys. We're going to do this thing next week. We're going to talk a little bit about the ANA. I'm sure there's going to be stuff to talk about. Hopefully we've got more positive news on Tiger besides just, he's got all his pins and rods in, and he's and all that. Hopefully we got a little bit more positive news on that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of NFL moving parts, and NBA, of course, and NHL will without a doubt have some stuff. So next week we'll be back here getting into the sports stuff, but we'll definitely be getting into that whole day and kind of how we remember it now, and maybe we'll go back and get some of the audio and play it back, because that was a pretty wild day. So next week, guys, we'll be back here for some an interesting episode, to say the least. I think. I like I said, Moose, it's been wild, man, and I don't know, dude. I'm over it just as much as everybody else is. Everybody's kind of at their wits' end, and we're all getting burnt out on all kinds of stuff, and just trying to get back to the life that we had that, was kind of stripped from us. And that's where people get this whole freedom thing and feel like things are being taken from them. And it's because you've been stripped of stuff, but it's not by your government. It's not by your neighbors or your friends. It was by a pandemic that, regardless of what you think wasn't going to be stopped by any individual. That's not how this works. So we just got to come together, and the only way we can get through this is, as a team. So hopefully we can do that, guys. So get your team together, hang out with them, get a plan of attack, and go out there and win the day, each and every day, and make the best out of it that you can. That's all we can do. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to spit a little positivity after I have rants on this show. I don't know how that even works, but that's what we do. Hope you do the same. Be good to each other, guys. We love you.
Peace out, brothers.
Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57.